Over the past 24 hours, from August 5 to 6, the Russians lost another 1,010 soldiers at the front. The Ukrainian Armed Forces also destroyed 52 artillery systems and 138 vehicles. This was reported by General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine said that over the past 24 hours, 143 combat engagements have taken place on the front line, 52 of them on the Pokrovsk front. On the North Slobozhanshchyna front and in Russia's Kursk Oblast, Ukrainian defenders repelled 13 Russian attacks. The Russians launched 18 airstrikes, dropping 35 guided aerial bombs, and mounted 353 artillery bombardments, including 16 times from multiple launch rocket systems. On the South Slobozhanshchyna front, there were 5 combat clashes near the settlements of Vovchansk and Fyholivka. On the Kupiansk front, 7 Russian attacks occurred. Ukraine's defense forces repelled Russian assaults near the settlements of Radkivka, Holubivka, Stepova Novoselivka, Kruhliakivka and Zahryzove and towards Novoplatonivka. On the Lyman front, the Russians conducted 23 attacks, trying to advance near the settlements of Olhivka, Novyi Myr, Hlushchenkove, Torske, Serebrianka, Hryhorivka and Kolodiazi and towards Cherneshchyna, Serednie and Shandryholove. On the Siversk front, the Russians conducted attacks near the village of Hryhorivka and towards Siversk. In total, 3 combat clashes occurred there. On the Kramatorsk front, Ukrainian defenders repelled 2 Russian attacks near the town of Chasiv Yar. On the Torske front, the Russians conducted 8 assaults near the settlements of Torske, Lyman and Serebrianka. On the Pokrovsk front, Ukrainian defenders repelled 52 Russian assaults near the settlements of Pokrovsk, Popov Yar, Volodymyrivka, Boykivka, Suvorov, Kotlin, Novoplatonivka, Moravka, Holubivka, Mykolaievka, Rodinsk, Suketsky, Dakhny, Promin, Molodetsk, Lysivka, Zverov, Yudakny, Novokranka and Olhivka and towards Novoplatonivka. On the Novoplatonivka front, Ukrainian forces repelled 16 Russian assaults near the settlements of Pitybn, Voskresenka, Shevchenko, Zeleny High, Zelene Pol and Novodorivka and towards Ivanivka and Novoivnivka. On the Hlushchenkove front, the Russians carried out an attack near the village of Temirivka. On the Orikhiv front, Russian forces conducted 2 assaults near the settlements of Stepov and Plavny. On the Pridniprovsk front, the Russians unsuccessfully tried to attack Ukrainian positions once and suffered losses. Ukrainian aircraft and rocket forces and artillery units hit 2 Russian artillery pieces and 8 clusters of Russian military personnel, weapons and equipment. In addition, they hit 4 Russian command posts. Commander of the Ukrainian Airborne Assault Forces, Oleg Apostel said that currently, the situation in the Sumy and Kursk regions has partially stabilized. The commander said that the Ukrainian army has already liberated the villages of Andrivka and Kindrativka in Sumy from occupation and that another one will be retaken soon. According to the Apostle, active work is currently underway in these areas. Currently, 2 surprises are being prepared for the Russian army. For one of them everything is ready, for the other it will take resources and time. But they will be implemented soon. If everything goes well, it will be very difficult for the enemy. We will create such killing zones for the Russians that they will be destroyed in droves.
Russian military analysts have published detailed projections of a hypothetical missile campaign targeting Japan's defense infrastructure, outlining strike phases aimed at disabling air defenses, early warning radars, and shipbuilding capabilities. According to Defense Blog, these calculations were first reported by the pro-Kremlin outlet Vonaya Kronika, which claimed that neutralizing a single Patriot PAC-3 battery in Japan would require 25 to 45 missiles, specifically Kh-101 cruise missiles or Iskander ballistic missiles. Alternatively, the same objective could be achieved using 10 to 12 Kinzhal hypersonic missiles per site. The analysis focused on batteries located in Hakodate, Iruma, and Gifu. The report also proposed targeting Japan's early warning radar systems, including J/FPS 3UG stations in Tobetsu and Kyogamisaki, and the J/FPS 4 radar at Mount Takao. According to the analysts, 7 Kh-101 missiles would be required per radar installation to render them inoperable. The second phase of the simulated campaign would involve strikes on key naval facilities, including the bases at Maizuru and Ominato. These sites were assessed as requiring 20 to 25 caliber cruise missiles each to significantly degrade Japan's naval deployment capacity. In the third phase, Russian analysts identified shipyards operated by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries in Nagasaki, Kobe, Shimonoseki, and Yokohama as critical targets. The report argued that these facilities support not only Japanese naval production, but also the maintenance of U.S. naval assets stationed in the region. Disabling this infrastructure, according to the authors, could disrupt Japan-U.S. defense cooperation. In total, the analysts estimated that approximately 200 to 250 Kh-101 missiles would be needed to complete such a campaign. The potential integration of Kinzhal missiles in selected phases was suggested as a way to reduce cruise missile usage while introducing added operational complexity. The authors referenced Russia's operational experience in Ukraine as a basis for refining strike coordination tactics intended to bypass advanced air defense systems like the Patriot PAC-3. However, the scenario was presented as a theoretical response to possible future deployments of long-range missiles such as Japan's Type 12 upgrade and the US-supplied MRC Typhon systems, both viewed by Russian analysts as strategic threats to Russia's eastern territory. Earlier leaked Russian military documents, reviewed by the Financial Times, revealed that Moscow had trained officers for potential war with Japan and South Korea, identifying over 160 strategic targets, including nuclear plants, tunnels, and radar sites, many of which were intended for Kh-101 missile strikes.